Jeff Koenig here, Property Prep, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm here this week and we're going to look at some of the vans in our fleet. Today we're going over a 2024 Transit 250, which is our standard vehicle. And Brian, our technician, is going to show you the inside and show you what he keeps on his van. And if you get lucky and ask down in the comments, he will show you his tool bag in another video.
Let's take a look at the van. All right, so in general, most common tools are right here in a handbag. This is real easy to just take off, carry in. This along with my trusty drill. Everything is got straps or bungees of some sort because moving vehicle, it slides around otherwise.
You're not going anywhere.
So I try to keep things as secure as possible. As you can see, I am a Ryobi user.
Brother,
It's just something that I've always had, and I preferred the Ryobi way, which was as the tools progress and new batteries and stuff come out, the old batteries work with the new tools and vice versa. So it's a real good system that Ryobi has versus anywhere else. Even though they're owned by Milwaukee, Milwaukee doesn't even do that. When they come up with the M18, it's an M18 battery and you can't use the other version batteries, and probably will maintain that same track record. I got a extendable multi-max ladder. That is a A-frame, could be a extension ladder. Good for a lot of things, but sometimes a little too big and cumbersome. So that gets tucked away more often than not. I use my other ladder here, my step stool, for most things. I can change ceiling fixture lights and things at a standard height with that. That would be exterior lighting or a taller ceiling type deal. As you might notice, I got a couple different sets of knee pads, and you might see one or two more pair around.
how old is this guy?
Personal protection equipment, PPE, very important for longevity in this type of industry.
Well, there's your answer.
I know you feel like sometimes it's just quick and easy going down on your knees. It's only gonna be a few times. Maybe you're doing a couple outlets or just a faucet under the sink or a small section of flooring or a threshold or something. And that's all it takes is that repetitiveness without properly kneeling on some good padding or whatever. And you know, before you know it, you're 40, 50 years old with your knees shot.
Have you ever seen anyone blow a knee?
Something always good to have and think about. Up there I got slippers that you could put on if you need to wear those to walk on some brand new flooring. I got masks if I'm doing demo or something with harsh chemicals. I got gloves over here as well. So again, PPE, very big deal. I got a bag up here with hard hats, 5-point harness if I ever needed to rent a lift and needed to clip into something. Very, very less used than most, which is why it's tucked away, but still very accessible, never buried or forgotten about. Yeah, I guess that's it. So let's wrap that up and let's take a look in the inside. All right, welcome inside. Again, like I said, here's a smaller, easier to access step ladder, probably primarily used. And my long broom. I also have some little dustpans and short brooms throughout. Always easy to grab at. For example, on this wall, I got painting setup stuff, sanding blocks, roller skins, things of that nature. Painting is a huge part of just the handyman tasks in general. I also got some bins with some plumbing parts, fittings, some shark bites to fix some plumbing repairs, as well as these little kits here that have just a little bit of miscellaneous stuff, some closet accessories, some door handle hardware, strike plates, things of that nature. Getting some more plumbing stuff here. Along with the plumbing, our favorite friend, snake a lot of drains in the handyman industry. So down on the last shelf is more of the bulkier things. I got longer crowbars if need be. I got my sawhorses that completely fold up and collapse. I got some extra extension cords along with the ones that you see maybe hanging. It's very much tucked away for a reason, because it's very likely that they don't get used very often. So try to kind of organize it so that, you know, more accessible used things are easier to grab, and I'd have to do a little bit of digging to get stuff out of there. All right, moving on to this other side here. This is more of the more used items throughout any given day. I got my hammer drill set up, battery operated, also Ryobi, with the Tapcons and other anchor systems that would go with that. My circ saw, heavily used. I got a kit that will cut the holes for a lock set into a door, along with just some bit kits for drill bits. Primarily, this is also just gonna be some other miscellaneous random oddball hand tools that I don't need to be carrying the weight of in my handbag every time I'm using them, because I don't use these as often as I use like handheld screwdrivers and my wire strippers and things of that nature. Up here is more of a smorgasbord of different various screw fittings and heads, from self-tappers into that can be drilled into metal, to just regular drywall screws, exterior rated screws, nuts, bolts, things of that nature. Staple gun. I also do carry a 4-pack of just ratchet straps. Even though I have my ladders secured up top, sometimes if it's clean like this, I can get a 10-foot board inside this vehicle. If I gotta get a 12 or longer, then it has to go up on top. Requires some additional strapping. Up here, I got some of the longer extension rod things for painting, a longer mixer bit, some paper, plastic. I also keep a small little inventory of light bulbs, as well as a wax ring or two for plumbing if a toilet leaking or toilet swap ever. I keep a smoke detector and a smoke CO combo on the truck pretty much at all times. That's a very common item that we use throughout the days / weeks. Again, as you can see, a lot of strapping, a lot of different hook setups. It's just to keep things in place for the most part. Sometimes it's not always used. This would be if I have some sheet goods and I need to keep that from just tipping over. I would throw that around that. Moving on to the back. Some more PPE, rubber gloves if I ever need them, cleaning something, playing with tar or a chemical that is just not gonna come off my fingers or hands very easily. Always best to just have some gloves on hand. Our safety cones, we put these out when we're parked on a roadway. A little bit behind the vehicle, a little bit in front of the vehicle, kind of on a 45, basically just giving us a pathway to kind of alert oncoming traffic that's zooming by us, you know, hey, that we're in this and actively in and out of it or whatever. I also will use them to give myself a little bit more room in the back area, especially if I know I need to pull my extension ladders down so that a car doesn't park too close behind me and prevent me from putting it back up onto my ladder. Let's say I'm using it and come back out to put it away and go to the next job and I can't even get it up on my vehicle. So try to prevent that. Yeah, I got some fish sticks, 4-foot level, a couple 2-foot levels, things of that nature. Just, you know, find spots that make sense and, you know, have them on hand. Otherwise, you're always in that, I don't have that with me, or, you know, you could fill this thing up to the gills and still be missing that key item, right? And obviously, we still like to have some room for materials. We try to not have a stock of inventory for too much materials. It's more of a, let's check it out, see what we need, and then we'd run and go get it. That way we're keeping the cost to the homeowners down, by not buying a whole bunch of stuff and then hoping that we make the return properly or in time, and that you're not getting billed with that or it's not getting damaged on the truck. So it's pretty much, okay, this is our problem. We run and get the material, come back, put it in, and you're all ready, good to go. So with that, I don't know what else to say.
Thanks for taking the time to look at our van today, and it was a pleasure to see Brian's cleanliness and beautiful interior. Like, subscribe, hit the comments for some suggestions on future videos, hit the bell for notifications, and we appreciate all of your viewership on the way to 1,000 subscribers. See you next Friday.